guy named Ron Garf hands me a little teeny book, about this big. I think it's about 94, 96 pages. And it was by Cecil McGavin and Willard Bean on geography of North America. That was my first real encouragement. Somebody out here is alive besides me. I was sorry to see it was so far back, you know. And I tried to find people. I didn't find anybody from Willard's side, but I found the McGavins, and I talked to them. And that's how I really got started. Just a little bitty book. That was my first real encouragement, was Willard and McGavin's book. From what I knew of the Iroquois nation as a whole, it was very, very accurate, and I love the little snippets of the warfare between the English and the French. I mean, you know, what's really missing today, I feel, in American history, if you just stop at any used bookstore and you get a history book from about maybe 1930 back to even like 1890, and you hold up that history book and like this, you say it's this thick, I'd say probably a fourth of it is the establishment of this country. And in that is some of the best reading you'll have on the whole story of America in its infancy. And that's what your grandfather put in his paper, was that kind of material. And I've been reading this for years, so I mean, for me, I understood what he was talking about. I understood the English politics and the French politics and the Iroquois switching sides back and forth and sometimes splitting their own nation into two, some with the French, some with the English. I understood that. And your grandpa's story, from as far as I'm concerned, he hit the nail on the head. And I just loved it. I mean, I thoroughly loved it. This is not an archaeology book like my first four are, but for me, this is probably my favorite book. I love this book. The new period in history that Willard brings up is the very fact that this is the promised land. And Willard, without saying those exact words, that's what his message is delivering. And now where we are at today with all the struggles that we've been doing with archaeology in the church, getting the brethren and really getting academia in the church to look to the east and not look to the south. And I think the big turning point was when the DNA hit. I mean, that was the last straw. Okay, here we are, we have the DNA, we have a Middle Eastern connection, and we've got maybe 1% south of the Rio Grande. But at the Great Lakes, we're running over 50%. I think that says volumes. And I say, yeah. And then you look back to Doctrine and Covenants 32, and where did they go? He went to the Algonquin family, and that's what's at the Great Lakes. It's the Algonquins. And when you talk to the Algonquins, they're one of the coolest things, and I found this out years ago. They will tell you, we came from the east. Now, they'll also tell you, we mixed with those who came from the west, but we were here first. Before I published this land number 5, I had talked to a lot of people about this guy named Willard Bean. I wanted to find out, you know, where was he in the mix? And I found out there was a lot of people that didn't know about Willard Bean. And again, that to me was a serious mistake, because without Willard Bean, there would be no Palmyra today for Latter-day Saints to come back and visit. I mean, really, it's just that simple. And what he did here, and his wife, and the things their family went through, I mean, I read all the stuff. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I mean, this was an unpleasant mission for a very long time, and they put up with more than the average bear. And boy, I really tip my hat to them, and I hope someday that I can meet them.